Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Um I was trying to think of what I wanted to do a video on next. And I mean, like, the election is coming up. This is an election year. And I feel like a lot of people only know about the Democratic and Republican Party. So I want to kind of focus this live stream on the Independent Party, but I also am going to talk about the Democrats and Republicans. But I do want to focus this live stream kind of on the independent party, so you know that you don't have to choose between the lesser of two evils. And as you can see, these are our independent party candidates: Robert F. Kennedy Jr. um I don't know, like, I may sound ignorant. I'm so sorry, but I'm just learning like everybody else. I don't know if this is the former president's son, but I assume it is. I'm gonna have to, like, look that up. Let me look it up right now. Okay, then we have Cornell West. I'm a little bit familiar with Cornell West, um, but I'm not, like, extremely familiar. And this woman, Jill Stein, um, I'm not familiar with her at all. So I want to go into the um the independent parties first, and I want to start with Cornell West because I thought I was going to talk about him last, but I want to talk about him first because I did read over this article a little bit, and I wanted to see, like, what would make him interesting as a president. So Cornell West, he's a professor, historian, and a political activist. He is 70 years old. He was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He lives in Princeton, New Jersey. He has not had any presidential campaigns in the past. He's never held any political offices. That doesn't bother me because neither did Donald Trump, to my acknowledgement. And his education includes a BA, which I believe is a Bachelor's of Arts from Harvard, and he got a MA and a PhD from Princeton University. So, um, I'm just going to get into his campaign positions because this is what was interesting to me. So, one of his campaign positions is wealth tax on all billionaire holdings and transactions. This is something that a lot of Americans say that they want, but have you looked into Cornell West as a potential presidential candidate for yourself? Have most Americans thought about voting for Cornell West? I mean, if you are an American who says that you want to tax who you want a wealth tax on all billionaire holdings and transactions, well, you might want to look at Cornell West for an option for you to vote for. And he needs a substantial amount of votes for this to be possible, but I think a lot of people just aren't aware. Okay. He says he wants a national minimum wage of $27. A national minimum. Like, y'all, that would change the game. $27. Let me do 27 times 40. That is $1,080 per week before taxes. Okay. If you work a full-time job, that's $4,320 before taxes. Minimum wage. So that will be for everywhere you work. Even if you split that in half and you only work part-time, you'll make $2,160. Um, and I think that that will help the cost of living. I think that will help a lot of people who are saying that the cost of living is just too high. Inflation and rent prices are going up. I think that's really going to help if he's able to do this. Now, one caveat is a lot of the time when these presidential candidates come out and they have these campaign positions, it could take him 4 or 5 years to get this approved. So this is not going to be automatic. So, but I'm willing to give somebody a chance who says that this is something that they are campaigning for. Okay. So he wants to establish a federal universal basic income commission. I'm not sure what that is, but I have heard that idea. I've heard Millennial Steam. If you don't know Millennial Steam's YouTube channel, he's a little bit morbid. He's a he's a little bit controversial, but I do like his YouTube channel. I've heard him talk about universal basic income. Um, and he makes a livable wage, and he still thinks that we need universal basic income. Okay. So another one of Cornell West. I thought he was a doctor. I don't know why they don't put doctor in front of his name, but that's just a side note. Okay. Transform paid family leave to mandate a minimum of 6 months fully paid time off. Institute a 4-day work week. National free pre-K childcare. If you are an American and you are complaining about childcare, why haven't you looked at the the third party or independent party? I'm going to call it third party. Why haven't you looked at the third party candidates? I think we have reached a unprecedented time in the United States where people need to stop as a majority looking at Democrat or Republican. Like the average American knows that these politicians, they haven't really done anything to help the regular American, you know, not in decades, in my opinion. Okay, he says immediate cessation of all oil and gas leasing products on federal land and waters, federal moratorium on fracking. I think that has to do with oil drilling, carbon capture and direct air capture technologies, geoengineering, and other false climate solutions. Excuse me. False climate solutions. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research. This is just my first video on the topic. I will be back once I research more. Codify abortion rights as a constitutional mandate. I'm going to have to do some research. Abortion rights. I think he is pro-choice. That's kind of my opinion on what this is saying. Nationalize the healthcare industry, including the pharmaceutical industry. So, look, look, whatever emotions you feel about Cornell West, his race, his ethnicity, his personal life, if you care about these things that he is campaigning for, wealth tax on all billionaire holdings, a national minimum wage of $27, he says he's going to mandate a minimum of 6 months fully paid time off for, I believe this is like for people who just had a baby, um, a 4-day work week, national free pre-K childcare. Okay, he's gonna look into the climate change situation, look into the oil fracking. I believe that's what that is. And he's gonna tackle the abortion rights, situation. I was not interested in Cornell West, you know, and I wonder if he knew that more or people are like me. You know, I'm a educated black woman, millennial black woman, and I've seen a lot in the black community. And honestly, I just was not I've been disappointed by the culture. So I just was not interested, but I'm willing to give this a chance, honestly, because these are some things that will help me as an American besides my race, okay? Even besides my education. It'll help me as an American, as a quote unquote younger American. Um so let's see what else. Let me see who else. because I wanted to go in a list. Oh, yeah. Jill Stein. I want to talk about her next. Jill Stein, she is a physician and an environmental activist. Wow. I didn't know that. Okay. She's 73 years old. She was born in Chicago, Illinois. She lives in, I believe this is Lexington, Massachusetts. She campaigned for presidency in 2012 and 2016. Didn't know that either. She's never held a political office. She has a bachelor's from Harvard, and I think this is a medical degree from Harvard as well. I'm gonna read her. I'm gonna read her about me section. Okay, Jill Stein, physician and environmental activist, is running as a candidate for the Green Party. Stein launched her campaign with a video posted to Facebook, which criticized both parties and said that the existing two-party political system is broken. I 100%, 1,000%. I completely agree. But I feel like not enough people are looking at the third party. Okay, she says, even if you're scared, what more can you be scared of than what's already going on in the country? Like, seriously, like, what, you're betting on people who have not benefited you in the past? Like, what's the point? Okay, she says the existing two-party political system is broken. Before launching her own campaign, Stein worked as a transition coordinator on Cornel West campaign. Oh, okay. Okay, for the Green Party nomination. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm a little bit more interested in her. She was working with Cornel West. Now she's running in the same party as him. I'm interested in her as well. That's why I chose to talk about her second. Um, she departed from West when West decided to run as an independent and announced her own candidacy. Stein was the Green Party nominee for president in 2012 and 2016. So these are her campaign positions. Okay, establish an economic bill of rights, including the right to a living wage. And very quickly, in the United States, it is said that a living wage is approximately $29.50. So that's what Google says, according to ZipRecruiter, is a living wage $29.50. Housing, food, healthcare, education, and more. Establish a Green New Deal with massive investment in green projects, industries, and technologies. Promises to put an end to the shameful legacy of systematic discrimination against women, Black and Brown people, Indigenous people, immigrants, people with disabilities, and LGBTQIA plus community and other marginalized groups. Okay, I'm interested, but I'm interested in the endless wars, definitely. And you know what though, for real though, I will say I do want a woman to be president. I want a woman to be president. I feel like we need a woman. I know women are not perfect, but I feel like it's time. Okay. Endless wars create new foreign policy based on diplomacy, international law, and human rights to oppose violence, occupation, and apartheid. Okay. So that is Jill Stein. So, she has a lot of great things too. She wants to establish an economic bill of rights, including the right to a living wage, job, housing, food, and healthcare, and education, and more. I like that. So, she's hitting on some of the topics that Americans say they want: a livable wage, housing, food, healthcare, education. So I like her so far. Um, I like her, but and I will tell you, Nikki Haley is the Republican um party representative, a women Republican Party candidate, and I was interested in if these third parties drop out, Nikki Haley, I want to look at her as well. But we're gonna go on to um Robert. Oh, he's not on here, is he? Yeah, he is. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Okay. He is 70 years old. He was born in Washington, D.C. He lives in Los Angeles, California. He I guess he ran for president in 1988, and in 2008 he's never held a office, I guess a presidential office. Um he also went to Harvard. Oh, everybody going to Harvard. Okay. Well, and that's where things start to get a little bit sketchy. Why is everybody a graduate of Harvard? See, now things are getting sketchy, but we're going to go on. He has a BA from Harvard. He has a JD from University of Virginia. He has his LLM from Pace University. Not sure what that is, but I know the JD is a Juris Doctorate, which is I guess like a law degree. Okay, so about Robert F. Kennedy. So he is the son of Robert F. Kennedy, and he is the nephew. Oh, God. Okay, see, he's the nephew of President F. Kennedy. He is an environmental lawyer and author. Okay, I'm interested. Kennedy is a vocal anti vaccine activist and leads the Children Health Defense, a nonprofit group. Let me see if I have anybody in here. I don't, but that's fine. I'm going to keep going in case anybody wants to catch the replay, which I think most people do. Um, Kennedy is a vocal anti-vaccine activist. Oh, okay. I don't know how I feel about being an anti-vaxxer, and leads the Children's Health Defense, a nonprofit group that has been suspended from Facebook and Instagram after spreading COVID misinformation, according to Facebook. Okay. Now, I believe Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wrote a book about Dr. Fauci and vaccines and things. And it was said that he was telling the truth because he never got sued. So, you do have to look at that. He is an intelligent man. So, okay. So, this is some of his campaign positions. He wants to dismantle the censorship industrial complex in which big tech censors, deplatforms, shadow bans, and al- algorithmically suppresses any person or opinion the government asks them to. Okay. Another one of his campaign positions is transform the police, train them to de escalation and mediation skills, and partner them with neighborhood organizations. Okay. Number three, significantly drop the level of chronic disease in our children. Kennedy has blamed childhood vaccines for autism. Okay. And number four, lead the way toward national reconciliation, take racial healing seriously through a program of targeted community repair. Now, I will tell you right now, I'm not interested in Robert F. Kennedy Jr. at all. Personally, he's a no for me because he's not dealing with anything that I care about. Okay. Dismantle the censorship industrial complex. I don't care about that. I'm just going to be honest. I don't care about that. I would rather tiptoe around my words in a sense, and not that I want to be censored, but I just feel like we have freedom of speech in the United States, and I don't know if censorship is that big of a problem. Like like I don't know if it's that big of a problem. Um, because as you can see, he's running for freaking president, and he is stating his, campaign positions explicitly, which is he explicitly is an anti vaccine activist. So I guess Robert F. Kennedy is like the mix between like conservative, third party, independent, Republican. Maybe he is like the guy for the right wing Republican conservatives who are tired of the traditional right wing Republican conservatives. So maybe this is um for those people. Robert F. Kennedy is for those people. Me, I'm more leaning towards Jill Stein. And honestly, I don't feel like she's going to become president. I hate to say it, but I don't, because number one, she's a woman. And I think that people are gonna like look over her just for that fact. She doesn't have anything intriguing about her right now. She is in her 70s. She just looks, I hate to say it, but you know how America is about optics. America is a visual country. We like the glitz and the glamour, and she doesn't stand out, and she needs somebody that's gonna help her connect with the millennials, connect with the Gen Zers, maybe even the Gen Xers. I'm not I don't get that from her, but I have to see some of her debates. I'm interested to see some of her debates, and then I'm gonna continue with my decision. But for now, I think Jill Stein, I like her a lot. Cornel West, he's second. I'm gonna put him second. I like what he's talking about, but I'm just gonna go with Jill Stein because I'm for the women. Robert F. Kennedy, he's not for me. I think he's more of the Republican conservative right wing who is sick of the traditional ones. So let's see who we're gonna talk about next. Okay. Um. Now there is there's a Democratic guy. His name is Dean Phillips. Never heard of this guy either. He's 55. He was born in St. Paul, Minnesota. He lives in was Wayzata, Minnesota. He has never ran for president. His office is held. He's been a US representative from Minnesota's third party district from 2019 until now. He went to Brown University to get a BA and University of Minnesota to get an MBA. Okay, about the candidate. A third term congressman and former CEO has been critical of Joe Biden's bid for reelection and has raised concerns about the president's age and his lackluster approval ratings. Now, I will say, if you okay, I'm just gonna go. If you are somebody who you are a Democrat, I feel like you should you should pay attention to Dean Phillips, because like, let's keep it real, Joe Biden is in his freaking 80s. Like, that man, he's not thinking straight. Other people are making moves for him, and you don't know who those people are. Like, come on, he cannot. Okay. When asked about his plans in August, Phillips said, "My real call to action right now is not about me. The call to action is to ask the president to pass the torch." Phillips has already missed the filing deadline to participate in the Nevada Democratic primary, one of the first nominating contests of 2024. Okay, well, he's a bit of a procrastinator. Dean Phillips, he yeah, let's look at his campaign positions. He wants to enhance public safety through increased funding for police departments and first responders, for up to date training practices and access to necessary equipment, and for mental health services for community members and first responders alike. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Mm, we already have a really good public safety, you know, group in the United States. So this is not something that I'm just really that interested in. Okay. Mental health services for community members. A lot of I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of people mental health is due to the fact that they don't make enough money. They don't have enough opportunities. So I'm not interested in what this guy is talking about already. I'm already not interested. He supports comprehensive immigration reform, including enhanced border security, a pathway to citizenship for those here now, and a streamlined process for those seeking to enter the country legally. Why is one of his campaign positions not directly affecting Americans? Okay. He's already getting into supporting immigrants. This guy, if you are an American and you have a problem with what's going on with the immigrants right now, then this guy is not going to be for you, because one of his campaign positions is talking about immigration. And if you have a problem with immigrants already and he's talking about giving immigrants more support, then this guy is not going to be for you. Okay. He says believes patients and non-politicians should have the freedom to make personal decisions about their own health, including when it comes to their reproductive health. This guy, Dean Phillips, he's a bullshitter. He's a bullshitter. I can already tell. I'm not interested in Dean Phillips. Next, Joe Biden, our current president. He is the president of the United States. He is 81 years old. He was born in Scranton, I think, Pennsylvania. He lives in Washington, D.C. Previous presidential campaigns, 1988, 2008, and 2020. He is the 46th president of the United States from 2021 until present. Um, he is the 47th vice president of the United States from 2009 to 2017. He was a U.S. senator from Delaware from 1973 to 2009. I didn't know they stayed in office that long. God damn. His education is from University of Delaware. He got his BA there in Syracuse. He got his JD, which is Juris Doctorate. Okay, so about the candidate, President Joe Biden launched his re-election campaign by urging Americans to finish the job, making a case for allowing his administration to continue to press its agenda and asserting himself as the country's best option against a field of Republican candidates. Yeah, but what about the third party? That's what I'm saying. People need to pay attention to the third party, because so far the first Democrat candidate, Dean Phillips, he's garbage. Joe Biden, his only thing to say is, I need to finish my job. I'm not done yet. Let me finish. Let me finish. And also, I'm better than the Republicans. Like, what? I believe he even wrote this. I think Joe Biden wrote this, you know? In Biden's campaign announcement, he said that he intends to continue to fight for our democracy against MAGA, which is MAGA extremists, which is stands for Make America Great Again. Some of his campaign positions: he wants to protect Social Security and Medicare. It's already giving mediocre. It's already giving bullshit. It's giving you just putting some shit on this. You didn't think about anything. Cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for all Americans. Okay, yeah, but it's crazy when you even have to. Okay, yeah, that I think that's a great But for that to be a campaign position, like, wow. Like, why not tackle the whole healthcare industry? This is one specific ailment. Veto a national abortion ban if one makes it through Congress. If. Okay. And I'm telling y'all right now, if they do a national abortion ban, you think these men not having sex now? Women, we don't need sex, honestly. Sex is boring at this point for me. It's not fun. If I wanted to have sex with somebody, I would like really choose carefully. It wouldn't be like back in the days when a man could, you know, women would be much more selective. I'll put it like that if it was a national abortion ban. Okay, and sex would get very more expensive. Protect democracy and ensure that the nation's traditions, including open elections, are allowed to remain. What? Protect democracy? What? I'm just like, so now democracy is being threatened. Continue to provide aid and assistance to Ukraine in an effort to keep Russian aggression at bay. Wow. 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 He's talking about Social Security, Medicare. In some states you don't even qualify for Medicare, you know. And Social Security, that protects that's such a vague term. And see, these people who have these law degrees, they know how to speak in this vague language. Protect Social Security. Okay. What if Social Security was $500 a month until 2050? Like, protect Social Security. Mm, make the wealthiest and the biggest corporations begin to, like, literally, y'all. This is giving American education because wow, this sounds like some really like some freshman year of high school type writing for real. Make the wealthiest and the biggest corporations begin to pay their fair share. Without a billionaire minimum, close tax loopholes. That needs to happen. But why is it last on the list? Quadruple the tax on corporate stock buybacks to encourage long term investments instead. Ensure that anyone making under $400,000 a year won't see a tax increase. What does it matter if you're not seeing a tax increase if you're not making enough money? Who's making $400,000 a year? Somebody making $400,000 a year is very wealthy. Biden. Okay, now let's go to Nikki Haley. Let's go to Nikki Haley. This guy looks like Joel Osteen. Larry Elder. Okay. Mike Pence. Mike Pence look kind of okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna say. Okay, there were a lot of Republican people. Wow, I didn't know there were so many Republicans. Okay, now Nikki Haley. Okay, let me see. Nikki Haley. I heard a lot of bad things about Nikki Haley. One of the worst things I heard about Nikki Haley was she wants Americans. to work until they're 70 years old. Girl, people ain't even working until they 30 at this point. So that's, you know. All right, Nikki Haley, age 52. She was born in Bamberg, South Carolina. She lives in Kiowa Island, South Carolina. Previous presidential campaigns, none. She was the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations 2017-2018, governor of South Carolina 2011 to 2011 through 2017. She went to Clemson University and got her BA there. Mm-mm. Okay. Nikki Haley, the former governor of South Carolina who served as ambassador to the United Nations during the Trump administration, was the first candidate to challenge her former boss for the Republican nomination. Haley has been critical of Trump and called for a new generation of leadership. Haley has not stated whether she will support the party's eventual nominee. So her campaign positions: find national consensus on abortion. She has declined to specify how many weeks into pregnancy she would support a ban. As governor of South Carolina, signed a law signed into law a ban at 20 weeks with no exception for rape or incest. Yeah. Mm, I don't know. I don't know if I can get behind this. I don't know if I can support this. Okay, she wants to restart the Trump era, remain in Mexico policy for asylum seekers, mandate a national e-verify program for businesses to prevent the hiring of immigrants in the country illegally. In sanctuary cities, hire more Border Patrol and ICE agents, support term limits for members of Congress, and mandatory mental competency tests for politicians over 75 years old. I like this last one. I like these bottom two. Now this national consensus on abortion. Hmm. I don't know if I want somebody representing me for the next 4 years, where they're gonna be able to sign a piece of paper that does not give me legal rights to my own body. Does not give me legal rights to my own body, and I could face all kinds of repercussions for wanting to make a decision about my own body. My body. Now finally, let's get to the man with the plan. According to a lot of people in the United States, they are done with Biden and they would rather just vote for Trump. Okay, that's what a lot of people are saying these days. They don't want to look into the other political presidential candidates. They just say, hey, if it's not Biden, it's Trump. They don't want Nikki Haley. They don't want Joe Biden, obviously. They don't want, excuse me, they don't want Dean Phillips. I don't like Dean Phillips either. I don't like Joe Biden. I don't like Nikki Haley. I just don't. It's not what people say, it's what they don't say. And a lot of the stuff, she's not hitting on things that I feel Americans most complain about, which is a livable wage in healthcare. That's what most Americans are complaining about. Like, Americans are past the point of saying, oh, we're free. We want freedom. We want freedom. No, if you live in a country and you know you're not going anywhere, you kind of don't mind. You kind of accept that you're going to be represented by these politicians. It's something that you can't escape. But we at least want to be comfortable. We want to have the illusion that we can go buy what we want, or not even the illusion. We do. We want to go and buy what we want. And Americans, we spend the most. Okay, last one. I'm a little bit tired, but I wanted to get this live stream out. President or former President Donald Trump, 77 years old. He was born in Queens, New York. He lives in Palm Beach, Florida. He was the presidential campaign. He ran for president in 2000, 2016, and 2020. He was president from 2017 to 2021, and he went to the University of Pennsylvania to get his bachelor's of science. So he's good at math. Oh, all right. Let's read his about section. Former President Trump was the first candidate to declare his intent to run for the GOP nomination in 2024. He also became the first former president to face any kind of criminal charges for being indicted by a Manhattan grand jury in a case related to a payoff of a corn star. He now faces federal criminal charges too, related to his alleged mishandling of classified documents that were discovered in his Mar-a-Lago resort. Trump has denied wrongdoings in both cases. Trump, who was impeached twice, continues to falsely claim that he won the 2020 election and has said that he intends to repeal many of the Biden administration's initiatives. Early polls indicate that nearly two-thirds of Republican Party primary voters would vote for Donald Trump. The former president has not said if he would support the nominee if another candidate wins the nomination, saying it would depend on who the nominee was. All right. Let's see what his campaign positions are. Support legislation that represents record investment in police, pardon a large portion of people convicted of federal offenses for their participation in the January 6th. This is a campaign position? Oh my God. Okay. Federal offenses for their participation in the January 6th, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Sign an executive order instructing federal agencies to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition with any age. Punish doctors who provide gender affirming care to minors. I agree, but that's not a proper campaign position. That's not a proper campaign position. It's just not. Get something done on abortion has declined to specify how many weeks into pregnancy he would support a ban, has said a federal ban would need to include exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. Now, now, from reading his campaign positions, if I were a Republican, Trump would be my choice, not Nikki Haley. Her campaign positions, they're not strong. She doesn't have strong. The only thing I really like is this one: support term limits for Congress and mandatory mental competency tests for politicians over 75 years old. I think that's a great idea, but it's just not. It's not gonna help the average American. You're representing the people. You're not representing career politicians. You are representing the people. Okay. Now she's talking about this e-verify system to prevent businesses from hiring immigrants in the country illegally. I don't like her position on abortion either. No exceptions for, yeah, I can't support that. So I would say for me, my top picks are, I would say, in order of the third party, if I had to support a third party member, Jill Stein is my first pick, then Cornel West, then Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Then, if those were not options, Um, Trump is not giving me anything that I would want to support. He's talking about investment in the police, pardoning people who did the January 6th. He's talking about trans. I can't, I don't, it's no point in me supporting any of this. Okay. So no for Donald Trump. So after the third party, no for Nikki Haley. Okay. Let me look at this guy again. Enhanced public safety supports comprehensive immigration. Okay. No. So Jill Stein, Cornel West, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Then I would go for Joe Biden. I know he is decrepit, but I do like, at the very least, protect Social Security, even though that's up in the air. I like this insulin thing. I like veto the abortion. Okay. So yeah, I would go for Biden. If Biden wasn't an option, believes patients, non-politicians should have the right to make their own health, supports comprehensive immigration, blah blah blah. And- Hmm. Okay, so it's Jill Stein, Cornel West, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Joe Biden. He don't have strong campaign positions. I guess I'm gonna have to, after Joe Biden. Um, let me. He doesn't. After Joe Biden, this guy does not have strong campaign positions. Enhanced public safety. What the frick does that mean? So basically, he's talking about police, immigrants, and abortion. He's not trying to address the economy at all. I don't think Dean Phillips is going to make it. Even though he's much younger than Joe Biden, his campaign positions aren't good enough for me. Um so personally, the only thing that I cannot get behind that with Nikki Haley is no exceptions for this. If you can read it, no exceptions for this. I can't get behind that. Um but she, if she is willing to allow people to, you know, and I hate to say allow, because you should be able to do what you want with your body, but you know, hmm, like abortion is such a, like, it's an important topic. It really, really is an important topic, so believes not poli- believes patients, not politicians, should have freedom to make personal choices. I mean, I guess after Joe Biden, I guess maybe this guy just he doesn't have good campaign strong points, in my opinion. Like, And for that reason, you know, I would have to go with Nikki Haley after Joe Biden. Not that I would vote for this. Let me see. Now, me during the primaries, I'm definitely voting for the third party. Most definitely. If they don't make it, we'll see. I'm going third party. I'm going third party. And if you're a Democrat, I suggest going Joe Biden. And Republican, if you're a Republican, um, honestly, a lot of Republicans are misogynistic. I can't see them voting for a woman, but I think she does have better campaign positions than than Trump. Except except she wants to make people work until they're 70. They didn't put that in this news article. So I think Trump will be the better choice for the Republicans, okay? So if you're a Republican, I say vote Trump. If you're a Democrat, I say vote Biden. Me, personally, I'm voting for Jill Stein. I don't think she'll make it, but I am voting for her. Um, I think Cornel West is another good option, and Robert F. Kennedy. Either way, he's just not a good candidate in my opinion, Robert F. Kennedy, and I think he's gonna be the one to make it. Ugh, I fucking hate to say that, but I think he's gonna be the one to make it. But I'm voting for Jill Stein in the primaries. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to go over this article right quick since I did have the live stream queued up and I wanted to go ahead and get it done. I wanted to introduce the third party candidates because I think a lot of people aren't paying attention to them, and I think it's important that you do.